Episode 65 just dropped, and I gotta say, it's officially my new fave. Like, it's so lit, it even outshone episodes 50 and 60, no cap. This episode is hella thought out with mad details, and every second is straight up epic and massive. And yo, the plot? It's on a whole new level. In this vid, I'm spilling the tea on what's poppin' with the Titans and will they be able to win? And if that ain't the real G-Man, where's he at? Also, I'm spilling the beans on Defook and who he's actually helping. You're gonna get all the deets on these and more, so don't even think about skipping a beat. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe if you're vibing with my analyses and theories. If I see y'all are feeling it, I'll drop another vid spilling even more deets that didn't make the cut in this one. Hey fam, what's poppin'? It's your boy Consoleman and we're back with some Skibidi Toilet madness. We just witnessed Titan Cameraman's epic downfall. We ain't sure if he's toast or not, but either way, let's show some love for our boy Cameraman Titan, holding it down since episode 18. He was our fave, the most OP, and one of the funniest cats in the series, always throwing up that thumbs up when he won. But at the end of today's episode, homie threw up a thumbs down for the first time. But yo, we ain't giving up cause this ain't the end game. Even though this was the most insane and epic episode ever, it's just the start, cause this wasn't even a real battle. And we probably got a whole season left to go up against G-Man Toilet and Toilet Scientist. The action was off the charts in this episode, and like I predicted in my last vid, the theory that G-Man Toilet's plotting a mad trap, totally on point. We don't even know where his real bod's at or where Toilet Scientist and his squad bounced. The decoy game in this episode was next level, fam. Episode 65 is dropping like it's hot, and it's straight up the sequel to the madness that went down in episode 64 when the agents were on the G-Man chase. So episode 65 kicks off with police sirens wailing, and Cameraman is legit shaking in his boots, with a dead cameraman sprawled out behind him. And in the blink of an eye, he gets speared too, right in the chest. Then we do a quick 180, and boom, we spot the upgraded Skibidi Cop Squad. It's been a hot minute since we've seen these Skibidi Cops in action, but these upgrades are lit. They're like flying around, and they've got 4 spear guns locked and loaded. But here's the deal, 2 of those spears up top are used up, so it seems like they ain't Regan in a snap. Maybe that's why our police toilet homie didn't instantly blast Cameraman when he was in spectator mode. But it's mad sus that he just dipped without a second thought, you feel me? Turns out his little stunt worked like a charm, and 2 Titans jet off to the Skibidi army crib. I doubt they saw that curveball coming, but they weren't sweating it. In fact, Skibidi Toilet stepped back like no biggie. The scientist just wanted to ditch G-Man cause he's slacking on the job. And let's keep it 100, G-Man's kinda weak sauce. I'm thinking the scientist knows what's up and has maybe cooked up some super dope Skibidi Toilets that can go toe-to-toe with those agents. Dude waves his hand and he just vanishes, leaving us all like... You can tell he wasn't ready for this showdown, but he had mad confidence and was all in to prove something to the scientist. But dang, his first shot was a total miss cause Cameraman had a freaking shield up. Speakerman Titan was chillin' at first, but then he's bouncing and popping off shots at G-Man. And yeah, he prob knew he might catch an L, but he was in it to win it. Then Cameraman Titan busts out the cannon and Speakerman Titan swoops in from behind and cranks those speakers up to 11. But fake toilet G-Man ain't having it. He straight up body slams Cameraman Titan, causing that epic image leak we all saw on Creekcraft's stream a couple of days back. And people were like, nah, that's fake news. But turns out it ain't. No doubt it's hella tough to go 1-on-2 in a battle. So when G-Man turned away, Cameraman Titan was already closing in, swinging his hammer trying to take down G-Man. And guess what? He even managed to strip off G-Man's armor. But G-Man wasn't throwing in the towel, so Cameraman Titan got all fired up and started throwing punches at his face. In return, he got hit by this crazy laser, but he managed to pop up his shield just in time. Speakerman Titan ain't wasting a second either. He pivots from behind, tilts G-Man's head, and jams both of his blades right into G-Man's eyes. Right after Speakerman Titan jammed those blades in, we start seeing this freaky electric discharge from G-Man's eyes. That's some next level weirdness, cause usually it's supposed to be blood, not electricity. But then a few seconds later, Titan Cameraman pulls out all the stops, unleashing his core to scorch fake toilet G-Man. It takes a hot seconds, but thanks to his fiery blast, fake toilet G-Man's face gets roasted. But hold on to your seats, cause there's a mind-blowing twist. Inside Toilet G-Man's skin, there's someone else pulling the strings, using some crazy tech. And if you look at his ear, it's sealed, which explains why Speakerman Titan's sound attacks didn't work. The scientist didn't betray G-Man, and, G-Man wasn't even the real deal. It was all a setup. Now we're left with a burning question. How long were we watching fake toilet G-Man instead of the real deal? This changes everything. What if the real toilet G-Man is getting some major upgrades since episode 47? Cause let's face it, he's been taking L's left and right. What if that's cause some other toilet was controlling a body that looked like G-Man's? That question might never get a straight answer, but you can bet your bottom dollar that the real toilet G-Man is gonna come back with some insane upgrades. Next up, we're looking at one of the sneakiest plots ever. Titans be looking up at the sky, knowing they're toast cause a whole bunch of nuclear bombs and explosives are raining down on them. Speakerman Titan makes a quick exit stage left, but cameraman Titan's stuck in a tight spot, with his only shot being to try and use his shield. But we already know how that usually ends. A second later, the bombs hit, and the camera starts glitching from the aftershock before it plummets off the roof. And then we spot a secret agent in a red ride, chillin' and observing from cover. Think about it, he's been there the whole time, and even though the explosion was pretty massive, it didn't even tickle him. If he ain't affected by all that, just imagine his skills. He held his own when cameraman and speakerman couldn't. I ain't entirely sure what he's scheming, but I got a hunch he's gonna make some moves in the upcoming episodes, cause he's looking mighty interested in the showdown. Remember in the previous episode, he's the one who wrote Trap on the TVs. Right now I ain't gonna dive too deep into that, but if y'all want more deets, I can spill the tea in the next breakdown. But one thing's for sure, Dafook is probably trying to lend a hand here. Or maybe not. Don't forget, in another universe, this secret agent was just an office clerk, fighting against the cameramen and TV men regime. But hey, back then, there weren't any Skibidi Toilets in the mix. Alright, after that epic showdown, we're diving into the episode's final scene, and it probably hit us all like it hit fake toilet G-Man when the scientist toilet left him hanging on the battlefield. Cameraman Titan is straight up defeated, and it's not just a minor setback. He's lost a whole arm again, his main camera is totally wrecked, his whole body's on fire, and instead of giving that thumbs up salute, he's throwing those thumbs down vibes. This is the first time he's looking down in this series. Probs won't kick the bucket from this, but this heartfelt moment is etched into our minds forever. Imagine, even if a regular Astro Skibidi came swooping in now, they'd probs be toast. Agents are taking an L for sure. Now let me drop this insane theory about G-Man on y'all. Was G-Man even alive? And are there other clones of him? I'm thinking nah. There was only one G-Man, and he was always a robot. First off, those laser eye tech vibes look hella unrealistic. Like, it's nearly impossible to do that with regular living eyes, but it's totally doable if the eyes were fake from the get-go, like mechanical. Remember how G-Man was always moving his brows all funky? It's all cause of those special eyebrow gizmos shown on the Skibidi dude inside G-Man. Yep, he had a separate mechanism just for those brows. For some reason, we've seen 3 versions of G-Man in total. The first was just plain from the get-go. He had only laser eyes and a regular toilet. The second version showed up in episode 38 with a new toilet. You'll notice he also got a stand, which he didn't have before. The second version also had old school laser cannons, like the soldier from episode 32. Yeah, there were only 2 of them, but otherwise this version was the same as the one in the new episode. In episode 47, we saw G-Man with new lasers, probably the 3rd version. In episode 49, we saw G-Man with new weaponry, so it's likely the same 3rd version. He disappeared before episode 57, but then came back with an extra pair of new lasers. Maybe the previous versions got upgraded, we can't say for sure. But now, let's break down some other deets, aside from flushing. Totally remember that epic moment when cameraman Titan brought the heat and roasted G-Man with that sizzling core blast? It was lit. But hey, for some wild reason, G-Man didn't go down in flames that time. Maybe, just maybe, there wasn't enough time in the oven for a full roast, you know what I mean? And oh snap, remember how those hypno guns had 0 effect on him back then? It's like, whoa, right? It's like these hypno blasters go straight for the eyes or the brain. But in G-Man's case, it's like he's got this robotic outer shell thing going on. Those hypno vibes couldn't even touch Skibidi Skull in episode 55. But when Camera Woman unleashed those darts, G-Man's face got paralyzed. Crazy, right? But the one pulling the strings from the inside? Nah, they weren't feeling the paralysis and just dipped out. Now, hold up. Why was G-Man rocking old school weaponry in episode 60? I've got a theory cooking here. Remember episode 57, when he took off and just stared down the Titans, even though his laser beams were fully charged? What if those lasers just ghosted him after that hammer smackdown? What if G-Man was locked and loaded, trying to lay the smackdown on Titan, but the lasers went on vacation? So here's the scoop. G-Man might have been a one-of-a-kind deal from day one, and he's always been a robot, made to be the puppet master of the Skibidi Toilet's world. They crafted him super tough and unstoppable, so everyone else would bow down. Then they pimped him out with armor, lasers, and all that jazz. In episode 47, his laser peepers went on the fritz, so they threw in some extra lasers. But in episode 57, the shiny new lasers got smashed, and G-Man had to roll with the old school ones. And get this, his outer shell is like a mix of skin and muscles, just like a living Skibidi. So you could zap that shell and find some red stuff inside. But hold the phone. G-Man himself is piloted by another Skibidi, so hypnoguns can't KO him completely. Before his glow-up, G-Man's flush system was doing its thing, and he had to dodge some punches. But at some point, he got the off-switch treatment. At first, G-Man was like the mini-boss, keeping Skibidi in check. But then, the mad scientist wanted to be the big boss, beefed up bigger and stronger than G-Man, and painted G-Man as the ultimate traitor. Remember episode 60, when the scientist played goalie and stopped Astro Toilets from wrecking G-Man? It wasn't a heroic move, it was more like, not today, peeps. Cause having all those toilets see that G-Man was just a puppet, possibly crafted by the scientist? Nah, that couldn't fly. So, the scientist cooked up another scheme. This time they spilled the beans that G-Man was a big-time traitor, probably cause he handed over a contaminated Speakerman Titan to the Alliance. But showing the other toilets G-Man's true face? That was a no-go. So they left G-Man high and dry. To keep the wreckage on the down low, the scientist unleashed gas and acid barrels on the Titans and G-Man. After a taste of G-Man's special sauce, there wouldn't be squat left. And guess what? The plan was an epic slam dunk. The scientist totally took down G-Man, kept the lid on the secret that they'd been pulling the strings, and totally threw the Titans and the Alliance for a loop. All we can say is, the scientist turned out to be a straight-up genius. There might be more bosses in the mix, who knows? But for now, Skibidi Scientist is the top dog, no doubt. You know the deal? Someone went MIA for a hot minute, getting all those upgrades and healing up slow and steady. I'm talking about TV Man Titan, of course. The upgraded TV Man Titan is gonna swoop in and save the day at the last second in episode 67. Cause Dafuke's got a thing for the number 7. Without him, the agents are basically stuck in a no-win situation. It's like trying to win a game of Monopoly with no properties. Impossible. When stuff like this goes down, you've got to figure out how not to take that L. It's serious business, and I'm counting down the days till TV Man Titan comes back, all recharged and ready to dominate. I'm low-key wondering if the scientist has more tricks up their sleeve. I'll drop another vid with all my theories and the inside scoop, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That's a wrap for now, your boy Consoleman signing off. Subscribe, smash that like button, and drop your theories in the comments.